Hi, I'm Teen Librarian Alejandria, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Teens to Go project, Hamilteen DIY Journal. If you get the Teens to Go box from us, you'll have some materials that come with. The first is this packet of paper. There's one brown sheet and a bunch of white sheets on the inside. There's a binder clip keeping them all together, and there's also 7 holes that are punched all the way through down the center. This is going to be your main book. The box also comes with some stickers that I pre-cut. They're themed after Hamilton the musical, and you can use them to decorate your final project. You're also going to find an embroidery needle and some waxed embroidery floss in your box. I also want to throw this out there in case somebody is trying to follow along and did not get the box. When I say embroidery floss, this is the embroidery floss that I use. It usually comes with 6 strands, but we only use 3 for this project. And then I run it through this wax so that it doesn't tangle. Keep in mind if you're doing this at home without our materials that I did use this bookbinding tool and these awls to help me measure and poke those 7 holes for our bookbinding. You can probably get away with just using a ruler and an awl to measure your binding. You're also going to need some materials from home. You're going to need some scissors, and you're also going to need something like a black marker or some nice black pens to help you decorate your cover. To begin your project, you're going to start with your binder clipped paper and your needle and your thread. First, you need to thread your needle. This needle is going to be a little bit harder to thread than normal, and the reason is because we're using embroidery floss, and we're using 3 of the strands of the embroidery floss, so you need to thread all 3 strands through the eye of your needle. The other reason is because I did drag this thread through wax to make it a little bit less tangly, but that did fray some of the edges. So you can go ahead and give it a try and just thread it as it is. You're going to see that I'm actually struggling to get this threaded, and I'm going to manage to get like 1 strand through, but I'm not able to get all 3. So I'm just going to take my scissors and take a little bit off so that I can try and get a little bit of the fray off. And even that doesn't seem to quite work. So what I'm going to try next is just to take my thread and just get the tip of it wet so that it all kind of bonds together a little bit better, and it makes it a lot easier to get through the eye of your needle. And there, I've got it. So just go ahead and carefully pull that through a little bit. In the past projects, we've tied both ends together, but we don't want to do that for this project. We just want to pull it enough so that it's not going to come out of the needle, and you're not even going to put a knot at the end of your thread. And now it's time to get on with sewing your binding. So remember that you have 7 holes going down the middle of your binding that you're going to be sewing into. These ones right here. I'm actually going to go ahead and press pause on the video. So if you're new to bookbinding, or if you got the paper instructions that are in the box, you're going to see that I recommend that you label the holes with a number 1 through 7, and you do it with erasable pencil. I recommend that you do this next to the holes on the cover side, as well as next to the holes on the inside pages. If you're just using the video to learn, you probably don't have to do this, but if you're also using the worksheet that comes with the box, you might want to do this. Okay, what were we doing? Oh yeah, unpause. You're actually going to sew into the 4th hole down, which is the middle hole. You're going to sew through the white page side. And I use the binder clip to kind of let me know what is the top. It doesn't really matter, but it is helpful when you turn it multiple times. So pull your needle and thread through until you have about this much of a tail left. Okay, so now go ahead and flip to the brown cover side. And we're going to sew going in this direction away from the binding clip. So stick your needle through the next hole and pull it through. And if the tail moves at all, just go ahead and pull the tail back a little bit like this. Now that we're back on this side, we're going to stick our needle down through the next hole. Just remember to be consistent and going in the same direction. Again, we're going to flip over our project and stick it through the next hole, which happens to be the last hole in this direction. So just pull that all the way through until you have a nice stitch like that. Okay, so we're making sure our tail is still there and it still looks good. Okay, so now we need to sew going in the other direction. So from this side, going up. Okay, so now that our needle is on this side of the paper, we're going to take it and we're going to stick it through the next hole. And we're going to just pull that all the way through until it creates a stitch. Okay, so flip over your project again so that you're on the cover side, and take your needle and stick it through the next hole down. And now we've come back to the white side of the paper. Now for this middle stitch, just go ahead and pull the tail out of the way and hold it down so that you don't accidentally pull it through when you stick your needle down through that hole and pull it to the cover side. If you do that, your tail should still be secure like it is in the video. So we've returned to the center, but we're going to keep sewing all the way up. So again, stick your needle through and pull it. Continue stitching like this until you get to the top hole. Okay, we've made it through the top hole, but we're not done yet. We have to stitch going back towards the center. Yay, we've just about done it. So we still have to stick our needle through the middle hole and pull it out. Make sure that tail stays secure. Pull it until you don't have any excess thread. And now your needle is on your cover side. We're not quite done. You have to make a knot. Stick your needle underneath this stitch right here and pull it until you have kind of a little loop. And then stick the needle through that loop and just kind of pull it until you get a tight knot. Okay, so now we've got our knot. We still have to get our needle to end up on the inside pages. So go ahead and take it and stick it through that middle hole. You might just need to try and avoid the knot. So now that that's done, pull your needle until that little knot pops through onto this side of the cover. And the reason you wanted to leave a tail that wasn't too short when we started is because you're going to take these two sides and you're just going to do a double knot. Now we've got to trim our long thread ends. And what I'm actually going to do is use my needle to kind of push these thread ends underneath the stitches and secure them a little bit more. Then I'm just going to go ahead and cut these down a little bit more. And of course, these stitches that we did are going to form our binding. So we have to bend over our pages. So we're going to start by taking off the binder clip. It might have a couple of indents, but don't worry too much about those. So I'm going to separate the white inside pages from the brown cover, and I'm going to bend those all kind of together, like sandwich them like this. And then I'm going to take the brown cover and I'm actually going to fold them in the other direction and then bend them all together to make a book. And here's your finished DIY journal. It'll look just like a little book that's blank and ready for you to write in. But of course, our journal needs to be Hamilton themed, so we still have to decorate it. Choose which side you'd like to be your main cover. I'm going to choose this side. You got some Hamilton themed stickers in your box, so you can decide if you'd like to stick those on your cover or your back cover. This is your journal, so make it how you would like it to look. This is just how I'm choosing to decorate mine. You might want to do something completely different, or you might want to add your favorite Hamilton quotes onto the cover. Just a quick tip that if you're going to use the playbill sticker, the centers of some of the letters don't come off the sticker paper very well, so you're probably just going to want to use like a black marker or a nice black pen to just color those in. And here is my finished journal. If you would like to sign up for any future Teens to Go program boxes, you can go to the events calendar at the Kenosha Public Library's website at mykpl.info, or you can give us a call at area code 262-564-6150. And as always, we'd love to see your completed projects. You can find us over at Instagram at KPL Teens.